Many people are chasing money while very few understand the structure of how wealth is created. And if you look closely, you discover that wealth in itself follows a structure of a pyramid. And unfortunately, the truth is, a lot of people are stuck at the bottom of the pyramid. They find themselves working harder year on year, but still found that they are not getting ahead, while a very few select few people have figured out how to move up the pyramid and operate at the top of the pyramid. Welcome to Streams. On this edition of Streams, I'll be sharing with you what I called Wealth Pyramid and how you can move to the top of the pyramid yourself. If you know a pyramid in itself, you know it has this triangular shape, and at the base of the pyramid is what I call people on survival income. Survival income is any income that is salaried or you are paid per hour. It could be a temporary shift or a permanent contract, but you are at the bottom of the pyramid. Your salary is capped. You are fixed in your income, and you need to exchange time for that money. And the sad thing is, you don't control how that salary is changed or how it's moved. I was just talking to a CEO a few days ago, and he said, well, I need to structure my budget, and some of the extra expenses I'm facing now, I will need to put it in my expenses column. But a salary earner cannot do that. You can't just show up in your office tomorrow and say, increase my salary because there's Iran war or, crisis of, income or cost of living crisis. You can't do that as a salary because you are on what? Survival income. And don't go and throw to me to be like, oh, there are chief executives of major Fortune 500 company. Are you on that part? Majority of salary earners are at the bottom of the pyramid. They are stuck there and they have to exchange time for money and they struggle. But you need to figure out, how do you move to the next level of the pyramid? Because when I moved to the UK, doing some work, when I come back from a night shift, on a very cold morning, you see people driving luxurious car. What comes to your mind? You think, oh, they must be doing something shady. They know something that I didn't know at the time, is that in a capitalist economy, there's a way to move up the ladder. So, if you want to survive the survival income or move out of the survival income, the next stage is what you have as the skilled worker. Who are the skilled worker? The skilled worker are your doctors, your lawyers, and the professionals. Are they really rich themselves? They make more, of course, than the basic low rung of the ladder pyramid income earners. But they themselves still struggle because they need to exchange that time for money. Think of it. Incidentally, in UK currently this week, doctors are going on strike for 1 week. For what? Because of income, because of their salary. They work incredible hours, maybe 110, 120 hours, but it's still not enough because their time is tied to everything they earn. And you want to also get out of that because you don't want to exchange your time for money all of your life. And the next layer to that is business income, or you call it system income. When you move to the business income, that's where you created, either formed a company, you are the MD CEO, or you are self-employed, you're making money through a system, or you offer a service or a product, and you make money through that. That way, you are breaking yourself on an income that is tied to money. Think of it this way. During this energy crisis, because of this war going on, a lot of people that offer services, people that sell petrol have adjusted their price. People who sell food have adjusted their prices. So also, if you offer a product or a service, you can adjust your price based on the current reality. A salary earner cannot adjust their own income, but a business person can adjust their income. You know what? You are making money through a system, and it must be cost reflective. The next layer to that, in this pyramid of wealth, that you must understand how to move from one stage to the other. You don't need to follow that sequence. You can jump to the one that works for you most. The next income on that layer, that is the fourth one, is the asset income. systems can be, because in systems, you depend on your team, you depend on a product, you depend on a system. But asset income is the next layer of that. That's where you have real estate, stocks, and bigger systems, But asset can work 24 hours. You don't need to be there. If you have a real estate, somebody takes it as a rent or somebody takes it as an office. If it's commercial, it works 24 hours. You don't need to be there. You utilize systems to drive it and make it passive. So that is the next layer. But the tip of that pyramid is the control and ownership. What do you have in control and ownership? Is you have bigger system and bigger assets, and you benefit from all of the stages of it. People work in that system works for it, and of course, skilled workers and professionals also work to power the system. It's not whether a system is rigged or how it works. What is important is on what layer do you find yourself in the entire system. Are you at the bottom of the pyramid? As people just earning salaries, you might want to explore how do you either move to a skilled worker, whether you need a training or you need to skill up, or how do you move to the business or systems to make money, or how do you begin to create asset portfolio that gives you money while you still may be inactive, and of course you get to create ownership and control of systems where you have more assets and systems works on your behalf. If you understand how this pyramid of wealth works, it will help you to crystallize how wealth is created. You notice at the tip of the pyramid, not too many people are on top of the pyramid because the base must be larger so that it can support people at the top of the pyramid. And the higher you are on the pyramid level will determine the kind of wealth that you control. That's why he said, if you share the wealth in the world, across the pyramid, the money will move back to the people on top of the pyramid because of control and systems. You need to figure out and understand this and flip it in your own favor and see, how do I become either skilled worker or owners of asset or systems? That is how to break out of poverty. That's how to move out on the ladder or pyramid of wealth. I hope this is useful. Share with your loved ones and share with your team. Utilize this pyramid of wealth to evaluate where you are on the ladder. And then I want to hear your feedback. I want to know, where do you think you are on the wealth pyramid? Are you in the middle, at the top, or at the bottom of the pyramid? And what are you going to do to change the position you find yourself on that pyramid? We want to get to 100,000 subscribers. We're very close. If all of you that watches subscribes, we'll get to that within the next few months. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to hearing your feedback. Bye for now.